Welcome to the one-on-one with Kevwe.
That's why they close. They quickly take their uniform off because they are vulnerable.
There is no way, from the layman's point of view.
Thank you very much, Kevwe. To come and do their wire fell down and they are what the R is V in mafia manager called Yaka from the Titikapi became a worse godfather than everyone.
Good morning. Welcome to 101 on TSN Nigeria TV. As always, my name is Modupe, and I have with me on set this morning
ESEOSA, EWERE.
I didn't let them know your position.
Good morning, viewers and fellow Edo people, Nigerians, and the rest of the world. My name is ESEOSA, EWERE, and I'm press secretary to the council chairman of our local governments. Edo State. I
didn't put the chief to the press.
No. Press secretary.
Welcome. Let's get down to the business of the day. The local government system is created with the ultimate goal of bringing governance to the people.
Yeah. At the grassroots.
At the grassroots level.
Very fundamental.
Ensuring that they feel the effect of governance. Yeah. But in Nigeria, when things are not working, when people are not feeling the effect of governance, it is quick for us to look at it from the states, to look at it from the federal level, because we feel that they are the one. So, but the local government chairman, as it is, they relax. All they do is that they're just there, they pay staff salary. And what is your take on this, please?
I think that has been the norm.
Okay.
It's been a systemic thing that we have gotten to get used to it. Even though it is incorrect, even though it is inappropriate, even though it is naturally unacceptable, but because it has been allowed to fester for a very long time, so it becomes like a norm. People are not used to it, so much so that people don't even know how many local government areas are in the states. Yeah. People don't even know the name or names of their council bosses. People don't know how councils are being run. They don't know who the supervisory councillors are. They don't know who the members of the legislative arms are. They don't know the daily runnings of the local governments. Yeah. And more importantly, they don't even know how local government get their allocations. Sometimes they ask you, how do you guys generate money to run the council? For those that know that council is being run. When allocation comes, it doesn't just come straight to the local government. You understand? There's a federal, state, local system. Yeah. So if we are able to know the allocation that comes on a monthly basis and how the allocations are being expended, then we have woken up already. But in a situation where we are unable to know allocations that come from the federal to the state to the local on a monthly basis, and how the local governments now use the local systems like taxation, remittances, and all of that to support allocation, then we would have been able to, okay, this is how local government is run, this is how local government is not being run. But where you don't know all of these things, it's going to be difficult.
Now we're going to come into the runnings of
and some of these local government chairmen, they are aware that the people are ignorant of the runnings of the local government, so they take advantage of it.
Okay. Now we're going to come into the runnings of the local government. We're going to look at it from another angle. I, for one, I'm this person that I give so much attention to the process as compared to the product. Look at local government system, the way it's run in this country. A lot of us will feel that the local government chairman is just like an appointee to the executive governor of the states because of the fact that, look at the way they get into offices.
By election,
yes. If that is what we see on ground that happen in most states in the federation, if that is what we call election, I guess it's question.
We got to office by election.
Okay, good.
March 3rd, 2018.
So I want to put it to you. I want to ask you this question.
Please
Don't you think the reason why the man in the grassroots, while he is not so concerned with what happened in the local governments, is because he feels that the local government chairman is just an appointee to the state governor?
Well, that can be a very wrong perception on the part of the people, because the closest form of government to the people is even the local government.
The supposed.
Is the kind of local government that we run in Ikpobaoha is not a local government that you don't know about. Just yesterday, we grabbed an award. I'm happy you were there. Only a few weeks ago, we got another award from Midwest Temple. A few weeks before then, we had an award from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. So if we hadn't done well, or if we were not doing well as a local government, I'm very sure this appreciation wouldn't come. To even tell you, the local government chairman, my local government chairman, to be specific now, Osaende, he has not even met these people that are awarding him one-on-one. You just asked me a question before we went live, that why don't we see your chairman? And I told you, he prefers his works to speak for him. So if people choose to hold local government chairmen accountable for their own money, then that's it. But where you want to leave the local government and you want to go to state, it is going to be difficult, because at a point you will not even be able to assess the state government. But my local government chairman, Osaende, and other local government chairman, other local government chairmen, are very accessible. So whatever they have to do as a mission statement, as a vision for the local government, that is what they do. Like in my local government, our focus is on women and children, politicians, elders, and the youths. So that's why within a space of 2 years and some months, we have been able to impact on the lives of these people, particularly. Not leaving aside the part of infrastructure and all that.
Okay, we're going to come to that. We're going to discuss, we still have time. We're going to discuss about the developmental strides of your principal. But we are still going to hit on this issue of the election that brings your principal to power.
No, it was clear. I'm sure you voted.
I want to ask you a simple question now. Do you think the state's electoral commission should still be allowed to conduct election for local government?
Of course, they have to.
Or you feel INEC?
No. INEC is already too busy with elections. You see elections being run, and you see the courts, either the Court of Appeal or the Supreme Court, upturning elections that INEC had conducted.
Okay, but states...
That means there was an issue.
Okay, great.
So if we have to continue like this,
you've seen cases in these states where, okay, let's use this state, for example, where the opposition party had to pull out from an election because they feel that the election...
Perhaps they feel they weren't popular enough, just like they did in the last local government election.
Okay, a situation...
PDP in Edo State.
Yeah, good.
Perhaps they feel they weren't popular enough.
You feel that? Because what did the points they raised?
Well, there were no issues with the election.
Okay.
ESEC released timetable.
Okay.
Parties were asked to float their members.
If you were in the opposition, if I
were in opposition, I would go to the field and test my popularity.
If you were in the opposition, Mr. EWERE,
mind you, I've been in opposition.
Okay, good.
I've been in opposition.
Before you
lost elections.
Before you moved over
to the winning party.
And I want to believe that these are one of the reasons why you moved over to the winning party, so you can keep winning.
No, not exactly. I have to serve the people. We've lost elections.
Okay.
I've lost elections.
Okay.
My friends, leaders have lost elections. So it's not just about winning elections. When you are in a system, like a political system, it's more of service. Like what we are doing at council. That's what we're doing. It's more of service to the people. Because when you look at what did we meet at council when we entered, only 21,000 was what we met at council. At the council coffers to start work with. And from the point of inauguration, March 5, the election held March 3rd, 2018. Inauguration March 5 at the government house of Sadebe Avenue. From the point of inauguration, my chairman had already started work.
Okay.
As soon as they deferred to the oath of office, he moved from government house straight to Dume's market to start work. Because while we were campaigning and we went to Dume's Road, they stoned us with pure water that this market had been burnt for over 15 years and nobody made any statements or any attempt to rebuild it. So when we campaigned to the market, you could see the anger in the people. And that is my word, Ward 6. You could see the anger in them. And the chairman promised that if I win, this will be the first market I will revamp. And that was what he did. So on the day of inauguration, March 5, as soon as he left government house, he went to them. He moved he went there with the head of the works department and other critical stakeholders to see to how we can. And if you go to that market now, we have a new structure in place. We have borehole there. We have toilet there. We even have a police station. So that's to show seriousness and sincerity.
Okay, now, Mr. ESEOSA, I'm not expecting anything less from you. You have been very vibrant. You have been very vibrant in the media space even before you got this appointment.
Thank you, my dear.
Now, I want to ask you a simple question.
Please do, please do.
We're talking about bringing, because that's one issue we're having in this country, where you have people at the ends of affair in this country, they don't have a mechanism of getting feedback from the persons they are supposed to be administering over. So I want to ask you a question. What has your principal or the administration put in place to get feedbacks from the people? Because we see cases where you just go, you want to commission, you commission borehole, you commission markets, you commission schools. What is the mechanism you put in place for you to get feedback from these? Are you sure these things are what the people need?
Of course. Or
they are just projects you need to use to satisfy
No, not exactly. It has to do with popular opinion.
Okay, how do you get this opinion?
We don't wake up in the morning, get to the office, and start drafting plans for our people at the Ikpobaha. No. We reach out to them. On a quarterly basis, the chairman reaches out to PFN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Ikpobaha chapter. Okay. Aside PFN, you have the Muslim community. You have students. Then we also have elders who we believe know much about their various communities. So we reach out to these people. Sometimes they come to council. Mostly the chairman prefers to go to them, ask questions. We have supervisory councillors from various wards. We have special assistants. There are 10 wards in Ikpobaha. There's a special assistant from each ward, from Ote in Ward 1 to Ologbo in Ward 10. So every ward has a special, my ward has a special assistant. So these are people who are locally grounded. You don't even hear of these people. These are people who are very close to the constituent that we are serving. So we get feedback for them. What do they need at a point in time? Is there any community that doesn't need a school? My brother Kevwe.
No.
Is there any community that doesn't need a market?
Is that what they need at that point in time?
Of course. Is there any community that doesn't need a borehole or boreholes in their community? These are things that they've needed in the past, and they've even gotten used to not having them. You understand? Our people have even gotten used to not having these things. So when they now see these things, it's like we are trying to boo-boo them. But that is not what we're trying to do. We're only trying to serve. We have 3 years, and we've done 2 years plus. By March 3rd, 2021, we are out of office by the grace of God. And if the people want us to come back, I don't think maybe that's just going to be the situation.
Now, another belief with the public is that they feel the local government is like a revenue collecting arm of the executive.
Of course, you need to collect money to work.
A revenue collecting
of the
executive,
of the state government.
Of the state government. Of the state, yeah, the state government.
Not exactly. You know, revenues are shared.
Okay.
There are certain kind of very critical revenues that local governments are not even allowed to assess.
Okay.
What do we assess? We assess markets, 50 naira packs. Those are 100 naira. Those are the revenue that we deal with. The major revenue, the block, the state government handles them. Are you talking of companies like Presco, companies like Panocean?
So you guys don't get royalty? You don't get royalty from them?
We don't get it directly. These things go to the states, and the state trickles it down to the local government.
Okay. So
that's how it works. But for the markets, we have built markets. We built 13 markets in a space of 2 years. So these markets, we approach them. This is what we want to do. For us to get your environment cleaned up, there are certain kind of money you must commit to. How much are we talking about? 15 naira every day. Sometimes depend on the size of the market.
That's huge.
A Kiomero, they used to call it a Kiomusa, but the people said they don't like that kind of name. A Kiomusa. Let's change it to a Kiomero. It's not a Kiomero. That's rich people's markets. At the time before we got to council, because as soon as we entered council, there was LGA tour across the local government area. We got to that Ekiomero. My brother, you could see homes connecting their toilets to the markets. So when they defecate in their homes, it flows down into the markets. You could see huge debts. Martinus. Ekiomero was the same thing. Oegbeni in Ward 2, the same situation. So then this other market at Kara Market, where they say the same thing. So you could see debt had already blocked the way. The people had been cut off. So what did we need? We needed to get the people to participate, because the kind of administration Osayende run is inclusive participation. So it's not the kind of administration that you sideline some persons and you favor. No, it is inclusive. So what we do, we assess them for those, particularly those markets that we have built. What they can, 15 naira every day, 100 naira every day, and at the end of the month, we clear the debts and every other thing that we need to do for the markets to be in good states. They have boreholes, they have toilets, they have every other convenience that they need. And this is what we've done. Each ward, there has been a new market built. Mm-hmm. In Ward 1, we've built Ward 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to 10. We've built markets, we've built schools, we've built structures that people can, that successive administrations can work with.
Now you decide to bring the issue of markets. I want to ask you a simple question. You're going to speak authoritatively. Now, you're not speaking as a ESEOSA. You're going to speak as a representative of Ikpoba local government council.
But you know I'm always ready.
Okay, good. The question I want to ask is this: what is the state of Santana market?
No, Santana is not Ikpoba's market. Santana is a private market. People never knew until that fire incident.
Okay. So what's the state? Do we still have a market in Santana market?
The state government has given a declaration, but you know our people.
Okay.
But let me tell you what the state did. As soon as that market got burnt on Sunday.
Okay.
On Saturday night. By Sunday morning, Osayende was already there. Myself and some other.
Because it's within your jurisdiction.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in Ward 6. Okay. That's my ward. So when we got there, that was when a lot of people even knew that market has been. It's like a family business. So this is your section. That's your section.
So they don't pay to your.
They pay to the owners. The market people pay to the owners of the markets.
Okay, they now remit.
Then the owners of the markets remits a commission from what the market people pay them to the council.
Okay.
Because while the land belongs to the government, if people come to buy goods and wares, they have to park on government land, so they pay. What are you talking about? 50 naira, 100 naira.
Okay.
So that is what we used to. So when the government now said the women that the market had displaced, some of them can relocate to our Dumais markets, which we had built already. We had already built 250 shops. But because of that issue, Osayende quickly moved men and materials to add 150. So you pay them as council, you pay these women 10,000. Then as state government, I will pay them 50,000, making it 60,000 at least to start. These are women that started business with maybe 10, 15,000. Some even had grants from here, borrow money. But now they have 60,000 at least to hold. We are not saying that is enough. That is not even close to being enough. But let's start with it. Others were relocated to a market in Oredo. I don't know the state of that for now because that is not my jurisdiction. But for the women, for some of the women that heed to government's advice, they are in Dumais markets now, and they're picking up.
I want to ask you a question. Now, was there any town hall meeting or there any consultation with this market women before you located?
Of course, of course there was. They were registered with ICT.
Okay.
The money wasn't given by hand.
I'm not talking about the money now. I'm talking about relocating them because you are serving the people.
Of course.
Okay, for example, now I live in Oredo.
The government.
But I do my market stuff with at Dumais markets because it's close to where I stay. Okay. Because I'm on this side of the divide, I shop on this side of the divide.
Okay.
Now the question I want to ask is this: I wake up one morning, I go to Dumais market, there's no market in Dumais anymore because the state government decided to put the market. So the question is there no need, or what do you think is ideal for the state government or the local government to reach out to us and say, come, we want to take this market out of this place. What do you think?
That's what I just told you. You know our people.
Okay, good.
When a system is not good, but
is there an approval for that market in the first place?
No, that's for the market to be there.
Yes.
That market has been there for years.
So there's an approval?
There's an approval by previous governments.
Okay.
But the current government has seen that place is not even suitable for markets.
So they revoked it?
They didn't revoke it.
Okay, so what happened?
They advised the market women
to move.
To relocate. There is space.
You don't get it. Mr. ESEOSA, let's get this thing clear.
Even if you revoke the market, you can't just revoke. Revocation is like removing the approval for the market from the people that are holding on to it at the point in time. But you need to now enforce.
Okay, now
that's where you now bring men.
I want it to be clear so that the persons watching will get a clear picture of what's happening. The license was not revoked, but the traders have been asked to move from that place to another location, which means that there's no market there anymore.
By the state government description, there's no market there.
Was there a consultation with your local government?
Of course.
And your local government gave consent to that?
The local government has no powers with Santana Market. We have nothing. We have no business with. What we do is
I want to get it clear. You don't have business.
Do you know why
you get funds from Santana Market?
Do you know why we even had to commit 10,000?
Okay.
The market is situated in Ikpobaoha. But when it comes to having to make Santana Market conducive for traders to do their business, Ikpobaoha has no business.
Now, we're going to move to this from this question now to the next question I want to ask you. It has to do with the issue. Anytime you talk to any local government chairman, there's this word they use. It's not a cliche. Paucity of funds.
Like it was used yesterday.
Yes, paucity. We keep hearing paucity of funds. The question I want to ask you, the reason why we decided to ask you to come and say this morning is because we've over time we've studied Ikpobaoha. Okay, maybe we're trying to do a comparison how it was before and how it is now. And we describe that it looks as if there is a government in place in that local government now.
Absolutely.
So the question I want to ask is, how is your principal doing this with the paucity
of funds? I think that has been the general questions from here and there. Yeah. For real, to be frank, there is paucity of funds, especially in the current administration. Why? Because we're working. You can remember before now, you had non-state actors having to control revenue in some areas within the states. Before now, we didn't even know there was a Ikpobaoha. People didn't know, except for those of us that are in the political scene. Before now, people didn't know that you could generate funds from Ikpobaoha. You could reach out to the market, Oka Market, to Maize Road and all of that to generate funds and use it to work for the people. Because private individuals were in charge of funds. And that is the situation, that is the problem we are having today. Because they have gotten used to that system and it is not difficult for them to be extricated from it. How do we get funds? It comes from the federal government. It goes to the states. Sometimes you're looking at revenue running into like 20, 30 million. And by the time you pay teachers 127 million, Ikpobaoha teachers 127 million every month. How do you not do? What about nurses? We have 80 nurses. Whereas there are local government areas in Edo who have 8 nurses, 10 nurses, 12 nurses. We have 80. We have the highest number of nurses or medical workers in Ikpobaoha. So when you settle these people and you settle other stakeholders, you have little or nothing to work with. So what does the council chairman do? There are some revenues that were hidden. We call it hidden revenues. People manage them for themselves. The chairman had to assess those revenues and ensure that he has control, very deep control of those revenues. Then he built more markets. Because when you build more markets, you are expected to generate more revenues. You understand? So this paucity of funds is not something that is not true. There's paucity of funds, but with the little that we have, we are still able to manage.
Now, that brings us to the next question: local government autonomy. We've seen cases where, maybe not in Edo State, where the state governor would have to hold the neck of local government to ensure that he is in direct control over funds.
That's just for transparency.
For transparency, yeah. So at the end of the day, the man wants to work, but he doesn't have funds to work. Is that what is attainable in Edo State?
We don't have we don't have so much money. In those states, there is a level of autonomy.
There is
a level of autonomy, but there are some kinds of money as a local government chairman you can't just approve, because there is an eye up there that is watching. That eye is always open, and even if you approve that money, there must be substantial retirement of the money.
So don't you think, if I want to ask a question now, if I want to put up a vote now, and ask you, ESEOSA, CPS to the executive chairman of Global local government, are you in support of local government autonomy? Absolutely, not the level of not the level of you're talking of now, especially financial autonomy.
If I give a council, as a governor, if I give a council chairman financial autonomy and it messes up public funds, why shouldn't I withdraw the autonomy?
Okay.
I should withdraw the autonomy without thinking twice.
I want to ask you another question again. I'm putting you on the spot this morning. I'm sorry. You see, you said something when we started this conversation that it was actually the people that brought you guys to power.
Yes.
Do you think the state governor have the right to suspend the local government chairman or even sack a local government chairman? When it's the people.
When a local government chairman cannot retire funds spent.
Okay. Do you think constitutionally he has a right to sack a local government chairman, the state governor?
Constitutionally, is constitutionally empowered
to sack.
Not to sack.
Okay.
To guide the local government. It's constitutionally empowered to guide.
Okay. So
if eventually a local government chairman is sacked or suspended after a report is produced and the governor is advised what to do, all well and good.
Okay.
Because the funds belong to the people, and when you mess it up and you are unable to account for it,
so you feel corruption or financial corruption is the only case you feel local government chairman.
There are a lot of other issues. There are a lot of other issues.
Like loyalty.
Loyalty in your sense. Loyalty. When you are in a government and the government make pronunciations.
Okay.
Not declarations.
Okay.
You have to defer to it as a member of that government.
Okay.
Because I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that the man who is making those pronouncements is not making it for his own benefits. The kind of government we have in Edo currently is government for the people. This is actually democracy.
I want to ask you, Mr. ESEOSA. The question I'm going to ask is a question that I feel you should give me an answer.
A straight answer.
Having a posterity at the back of your mind.
Okay.
Legacy at the back of your mind. I want to ask you this simple question. The way local government system is being run in this country today, is that the kind of way, or is it the way you feel local government should be run in this country?
Local governments even ought to do more than state governments in terms of development.
Now I'm talking about the way, do they run as a government?
Of course.
As a government without direct influence or
you can't run in isolation. You can't run local government in isolation.
We have the legislative arm.
We have the legislative arm.
Even in the local government.
We do.
That is meant to do the check and balances.
Of course,
the check and balances is coming from the executive?
No.
In most cases.
The checks and balances doesn't come from the state government.
You just said so.
The state government only take final decision. The checks and balances come from the states, from the local governments, from the legislative arm. The legislative arm put their reports together and present it before the state government. Okay, so it's not even it's the state assembly. Okay. That takes those decisions. It's not the governor per se.
So is the local government, you're not getting Mr. ESEOSA, is the local government being run as a government?
Of course it is.
As a government, you see the way I'm looking at it.
It's being run. It's being run. We are not saying it's a perfect system.
Government.
It's not a perfect system. What are you expecting a local government chairman to do? How can they raise funds? Some of the markets that local governments go to take revenues were built by the state governments. Oh. So they were built by the state governments. Oh. So that's what you call counterparts. There is a commission that goes to the local governments, at least to run some things, but the bulk of it goes to the states. But for those of us in Ikobaha, there are markets we are built on our own, where the state government does not even tread.
Mr. ESEOSA, you know what you've been able to explain to me. We have been able to understand what you've explained so far. One of the tools that the state governments they use in controlling the local government, like you've implied here, has to do with funds. So which means that if the local government gets financial autonomy, they will not be under the control of the state government anymore.
How do you get financial autonomy?
Okay.
How are you going to get? Are you going to approach Guinness or?
So the question I want to ask is this: if for the funds coming from the federal government gets to the local government directly, and if you have companies that are situated in the local government, they pay their tax directly to the local government. You understand my point? Don't you think?
And when the local governments are unable to account for the money, who holds them?
What about when the state government is unable to account for the money?
I want to see where governors are arrested by EFCC. EFCC is a federal agency.
Okay. But
You should understand this. We have former governors languishing in
okay,
jail.
there is a word former.
Of course, we have former governors.
When the local government, you are still in authority, you are still working, your tenure is still on, and you are taken out of your seat, and somebody is asked to replace you. And when it was time for you to be put there, it is the people that voted for you.
You were not taken out of your seat. The agency or the system that took you out of your seat didn't just wake up and took you. You messed up. You engaged in what we call financial misappropriation. So you can't use public funds to take care of private needs.
Mr. Sir, you're not speaking as a, I know you're speaking as a party man, but I don't want to speak as a party man here. I want you to look at this issue objectively.
I don't understand what you mean by party man. I don't have a party here.
I want you to look at this issue objectively because people are watching. Our time is up. People are watching. The question I want to ask you is this. It is the people that voted this chairman to power.
Absolutely.
Good. And if the chairman is found to be doing one thing that is wrong, don't you think, should there not be mechanism to take the chairman out of office?
That is what we have explored. There are
within the system on its own, not
within the local government
system, not externally.
If you have issues here in your office, God forbid, don't as the MD CEO of the organization, don't you wake up to responsibility?
Yes.
To handle that
Oh,
issue?
good. That means you've answered my question.
No.
Which means that the state governor is the MD CEO controlling the local government.
A state governor.
Now,
so you expect a state governor to throw his eyes the other way?
You know what?
Why local government chairman are messing up?
Why we are saying this, why we are stressing on this, because we are complaining that we have so much power at the center, that's the federal, and the states, they are clamoring for the fact that some powers should be given to, lots of power should be given to the states. We should weaken the center a little bit. And if the states, that is what the state they are seeking for, why shouldn't they give it to the local government?
But I don't think local governments, I don't think they're being strained.
Okay.
They're not strained. The current local governments that we have, the current local governments, I don't think they're being strained.
Maybe that's the reason why your principal is working.
Maybe
why your principal is working. So you're going to look to the camera now and give us your parting word, Mr. ESEOSA.
I think in my local government, there has been a change in the system, in the way local governments are being run. You're looking at a local government that has been able to do certain things that used to be undone. You're looking at a local government that has been able to take care of schools, rehabilitate roads, build markets, build boreholes, and a lot of other things that are essential for the convenience of the people. So I think we should continue to support the Ikpobaha local government because we have been able to change the game. Thank you.
Now, Mr. ESEOSA, I have to say this on air.
Please do.
We are quite impressed with what your principal is doing, and don't be surprised in the coming months or we relocate TSC Nigeria our studio so that we can also benefit.
But you must pay revenue.
Also benefit from the dividend of democracy that the principal is bringing to the grassroots. And this is where we call it a day on the show this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
for watching. Please help us share this video on all our social media platforms. Have a great day.